have some of the best abilities to look at it. Why is it that the health effects are exempt from this industry? Things happened in 1996. We lost that right to having the utility of telecommunications regulated. They can do whatever they want to whoever they want. The manuals are being written by insurance attorneys so that when you have a problem or the things I'm speaking about, the health effects, you suffer one and you try to take them to court or you try to get any kind of reimbursement from maybe the time that you had the phone and the time that you put it away because it made you sick, that you have the abilities to try to get some kind of money back, the 2-year guarantees that people are signing up for. If you developed a health illness, I believe that you have the right, and this is Sharesa Price speaking. If you are suffering from something that is coming from your cell phone, that you have the power to call them up and say, I have been suffering from headaches, I have earaches, something just doesn't feel right, I have a rash. You can call them up and say, I would like to suspend my phone for at least 2 weeks so I can see how my body recovers for not having that exposure from your product. That is something that I have been talking to people about because they feel like they have no power when they are getting sick. So this is something that education on the end user is truly where my heart is at, because I have spent so much time looking at manuals, and the manuals on the cell phones are very confusing. The antenna, that is where the power, the emission, and also these are transmitting and receiving little devices. They're very powerful. And in that, turning the audio into translation, into audio to the verbal, so that you're able to take the message and be able to respond immediately. That's something that happens all continuously. I mean, it's just something that some say that it's like magic. It's not like magic. That takes the energy in our environment. It's all around us to happen. We have that microwave energy all around us. But it gets multiplied by the fact that other people that are using the phones, they're not even aware that the phones are radiating out. Some say 10, some say 30 feet from the phone. Now, if I am sensitive to this and I can feel it, and there's 2 people, I can feel that double. It's like my body tells me by creepy crawlies, it's like I get the chills, or my throat gets very dry, and that's because my body is depleting of moisture. It's like your body is a battery. It needs to have water. The energy and stuff depletes without you even knowing that your body is trying to balance out what is happening in the environment. So after I had brain surgery and I was thinking clearly, I wanted my job back. I was a manager. I was making really good money, and I felt very important. And so when I called my boss, right after I had surgery, I'm still in the hospital, and I asked him, I said, hey boss, I made it. And he, right then and there, I could tell that I had something very, very, very bad coming my way. And that was, my boss says to me, good, did they put you on a diet? He was wanting to point everything away from the fact that my brain tumor came from my job. But when I started doing the investigation and started asking the industry who I represented, the product makers, Motorola all of a sudden didn't want to talk to me because I wanted to see the scientific studies of the phones that I was using. I wanted to see why it was that there was information in our federal government of things that I was experiencing. I wanted my job back. And so I had a time period to find out what I could, to find out if my job was safe for me to go back to. And in my search, I have talked to many people around the world in every agency we have in our government. And in talking to a lot of these experts, and in some of the films that I'm hopefully get to show you, and maybe even share with more, you'll see that a lot of things were building up to 9/11. And this isn't all about 9/11. This is about the things that happened a couple of days before 9/11. And I have done ABC, CBS. I've been in 3 movies. I've done 2 documentaries on the subject matter. And you haven't seen any of them, have you? Has anybody seen me in anything? No. All the things have been shown on the East Coast. The media here in California will not play it because we are at war. You might not understand what I'm speaking about there, but many of you might not remember that Mendocino, the little town of Mendocino on the coast, was fighting to keep the cell towers out of there. It was one of the only areas left, we felt, that was cell tower free. And I heard about the meeting with the Board of Supervisors here in Mendocino, and I got a call from some friends of mine that I have worked with and shared all what I'm going to share with you. And said there's a Board of Supervisors meeting, and we'd love to have you there. It's 110 degrees outside, and I do not like hot weather very well at all. And I have to travel with somebody, and that day meant so much to me that I got in my car and I left my family and I came here. And I was totally shocked and blown away, and most of all, my heart jumped with joy. I was walking into a room of 125 to 175 people that believed in what it was that I felt like I was traveling and carrying this whole load on my shoulders. And it's a very emotional issue for me because I wanted to live in Mendocino. It was going to be my healing spot where I was going to end up after my case. And this is right after 9/11, and the world changed. And inside that room with all of us that had only wonderful, knowledgeable things to say was the forestry department, was somebody to this day, we don't know exactly who the gentleman was, but we were all photographed by our federal government and told that we were possible terrorists because we were speaking up about and out against a utility, as you guys have done. And you might think that I'm speaking maybe crazy things right now, but what I'm speaking to you is the truth. There are so many things that have been held back from the public and not brought forward because, for one thing, 9/11, the industry became billionaires over and over from the feed of fear. Everybody had to have a cell phone. Cell phones were saving everybody. Everybody was communicating. Everybody was scared throughout the nation. And so the interviews that we did 2 days before 9/11 were withheld from everybody. They did not want to have you see all the people in the industry that had brain tumors. And I'm the only one alive today. And all my friends and all the videos I'm going to show you. And so it is very special, and I feel it's divine intervention here that I'm here with you today to tell you that I am so proud, and you strengthen me by knowing that you're fighting for the same thing. But we have a battle, and it's a battle that I'm fighting for the children because I'm tired of dealing with the adults. They seem to know everything, and it's more easy for them to disregard what I'm saying, and all the scientists and all that have been fighting around this world on this issue. Because what we're doing is, brain cancer is now the #1 killer in children under the age of 18. It's up above leukemia. It's a silent epidemic, and it's real. And as long as people let them get away with it and not open up their manuals and know where you're